All right, welcome back to the Planet Paintball podcast, brought to you by 1023 Sportswear. Use code Planet Paintball for 10% off, and Southwest Paintball in Bayfield, Colorado. Don't go say hi to John and the boys because it's actually snowing out there. Anyways, I got War with me today. Man, it's been a minute, boys. How
Yo.
you been?
What's up? Been
Good.
alive and well, man.
That's right.
Good.
Doing life.
Trying to get ready for this next event,
Well, yeah,
Well,
I'm hype about it.
first event.
There we go. What are we playing this year?
So we're playing the national series. We're gonna be playing Division 3 X ball again this year, but we're going into the national circuit for it this year.
Nice. What was because last year you guys stayed playing the NR series, right?
Mhm.
Then played Cup, right? So what made you decide to take the jump to the national series instead of sticking with the quote unquote local series, although it's not terribly local to you?
Anthony, you want to take that?
Yeah. So we went through with the NR series, and we had some success, and we really didn't want to compete 2 years in a row at a regional level. We
Okay.
wanted to take that first year to really find our footing in D3 and really get our, how we need to play and the level of I'll say this, the player level, we need to get acclimated to it. So once we got to
Okay.
play
Yeah,
that
makes
whole
sense.
season, we went to Cup. We were able to understand how that national plays. Now we feel like we can go up and play NXLs.
Or
Which
Sanders?
kind of been the plan for a while.
Yeah, the goal has always been to go up. Of course, I believe what we've all talked about is that trajectory of you always want to win out your series or excuse me, win out your season and then go up a division. But
Mhm.
it didn't work out, how we wanted. We didn't win every event like we want to. But it was a learning season. Not only was it for us as competitors and players, but as our team grows, we're continuing having to learn, who our core is, how we want to structure things and hierarchy wise. I also believe that something that is a factor that people don't even think about a lot is like regionals are really good, of course, for the people in that region. But when we are traveling, we had a difficult time with priority with our team as well as battling people that also play national. And so we talked about this a little bit, Anthony and Alex and I, about how we needed to shift not only to national because it's the best in the country. That's where all the top D3 talent go. And so whenever you have that environment, people want to go there. It becomes a priority for them. And so I think we discussed about a shift to there as well as similar to what Anthony just said, talking about we had our, our year, how we felt, and we wanted to make the move up.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Did the number crunching on it the other day, and nationals not that much more than regionals these days.
No.
No, not at all.
Back in the day, you saved a lot of money, and now you aren't saving so much. I mean,
Yeah, like we did the NRPL actually was last year we were talking about playing either MVPS or NRPL. NRPL seemed to be the best bang for buck. Like I said, like we, said before, we had a Bill Ussery and his mom, Miss Colleen, and all of them allowed us to stay there. So that helped us with housing. And then the NRPL does like, kind of like
Season pass.
like a
a season
franchise
pass.
thing.
Yeah. And they do like a season pass. So it was like 28 something. Like it was like the price of an NXL at the time. And paint was, I think, it was either the same price or it was like $5 more. At
You're talking about
MVPS.
per case?
Yeah, per case.
Yeah.
And so it just was a win-win. And then we were trying to already get acclimated and find our foot in D3 to make sure we were 100% prepared for when we wanted to go national. And then it just worked out. Now I think NRPL they went up a little bit on their entry. It's something that I heard, but I'm not 100% sure. And then the NXL prize package is better now. So not bad. I mean, we didn't want to do a regional league or local league we didn't want to do it twice. So we have our preparation year. We did that. We had highs and lows, found like glimmering light and the darkest depths of a hole in the same season. So our performance at Cup, I think, kind of proved to us that, you have multiple days to play these events where you're playing like a regional series all in one day.
Yeah.
I feel like once we went in the cup, we kind of realized like, okay, we can compete here and make consistent Sundays, and we could be a top 5 team. So that's the plan.
Okay. Nice.
It's
Yeah.
strategy wise coming into those events. I want to add on to what Alex was just talking about there, because I think it's important. The difference is not only just the event stress. Like you go up there, we have one day and you're having to learn a layout on a blind. And we want to say that the NRPL series, you're good, Alex. You're come back up. But the NRPL series, amazing event. John Atkins and his family and all the reffing are, exceptional, especially for a regional level event. Whenever we're talking about, us as an organization traveling and then having a day to have to a blind layout and having to get everything together all in one day, it's stressful. But we go to national, my brothers and I, we talked about a lot. It's the layout weekend previously. It gets rid of all of that hassle, which I think we talked about a little bit on the past podcast, where the layout weekend gives us time to break down the field. And then you could say, all right, these 5 guys are playing the best. And now you don't have to worry about that conflict going at the event where people are like, well, why didn't I play? Because you could just say, hey, man, you didn't play well at a layout. It's something that I think is important to be said for any other teams that are possibly watching to understand how important it is to have a layout weekend and to be just as serious at a layout weekend as you are at the event.
We're going to take a technical timeout here, boys. All right, we're back after technical timeout, giving you the real
My
NXL divisional pit feeling.
That's right.
Yeah, my bad.
Organization here.
Had to reconnect a square board and fix a fill station.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was like at Cup during the prelims. Our games were getting started by mouth. Like the guy was just yelling go.
Oof.
Yeah.
What was it, 2
Awesome.
years ago or a year ago in Vegas? We were watching the Pirates of the Caribbean on the TV.
On the scoreboard for
On
the
the
semi-pro
scoreboard?
field.
Like the Pirates of the Caribbean was playing.
No
and-
way.
Yeah,
It was
I have a
during your
video of
game.
it.
It was
There's
during
no
your
way I
game.
could focus. I wouldn't even care. I would love to see Jack Sparrow. I'm like,
We were like, what is happening right now? Jack Sparrow's like running across the field. Like,
it's a
like,
penalty.
dude, this is way better than paintball. What are we doing here?
That's what we
awesome.
need. We need like the jumbotron, like in other sports.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Get a
I
little,
forgot where we were at. That's my bad. I feel
I'm not
terrible
quite sure
about it
either.
now.
So you guys are going to the NXL this year. So you were saying you think layout practice is going to be a better component for you guys.
Yeah. We've always done well when we had a layout to study. Typically, you can't get a whole team out like every day, but normally I'll take an extra day or one of our other guys will take an extra day off or 2 days if we can. And if you can get 1 or 2 bodies out there to just look at the layout one day and maybe shoot some shots, play around, just kind of see what's going on, get an eye of it. And then you lead into like your full blown practice. It helps us out a lot. I know blind layout, there was only 1 player I think on the roster that really liked blind, and I think it was Cam. But the rest of us absolutely hate blind layout. And I think part of the the competition and the fun of the events for me is actually studying the layout and trying to find a tactful way to win. So that's part of it for me. I think Chris and Anthony probably agree with me on that, but War has always done better with a layout.
Yeah, I agree. No doubt. I mean, we discuss. I mean, I'm with Ironman. Of course, they're hands on with War and actively playing, and so we always have discussions. Typically, I'll have my meeting and what we're thinking, and then I'll pop into their meeting and see what they're talking about. Maybe I'll just have a conversation with my brothers, and then usually after a layout weekend, I'll try to give some knowledge, whether it be bounce shots or really any information like World Cup in particular. I remember I called Alex and Anthony, and I was like, "Look," and Caldwell was on the phone. Caldwell is our certified tall guy on the team, so I called Anthony. I said, "Look, how's practice? How are you doing? Are you shooting a snake off break?" And they go, "Well, not really. I think this was first day, after the first day." I go, "I want you to do something. I want you to take Caldwell, put him in the back center, get on his tippy toes, and shoot right over this spot on the brick on the snake side." And then I told him, if it's not him, then do it, Anthony. After that, they said they were killing people off break. But like, it's just little things like that where maybe I get a opportunity to play with some of my high level guys or see something that we practice tauntauns as well as heat, see what they do, and then I can bring it down to War. and give them like maybe a little bit of a bonus, because either way, it's always going to be different, D3 and pro. But there's a lot of the things that war does already that it's the same. It's just these little tiny things that we might find, such as off break shots or the type of float or how it's playing for us versus them.
Yeah. Well, and I think it was Ohio last year. Like the pros played it pretty slow, right? And the divisionals were really fast on that field.
Just ripping.
We actually played that event. We guested with a team out of Fayetteville, and we ended up winning that event in Division 3 5-man. It did play
Nice.
fast. It played really fast.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah,
the
you went
pros,
with
we
the
were
pros.
seeing like 1-2 point games.
I
Yeah.
hated it.
And they were expecting that layout to be super fast for the pros,
Yeah.
which didn't really make much sense to me.
Which that was the first layout that I played that was asymmetrical that I was like, wow, this is really fun. Like I actually, that layout specifically made asymmetrical layouts more fun for me.
Okay.
Because when the first time I watched an asymmetrical layout, I think was Vegas, and we were there, and it was like, I'm like, dude, how do you keep up with anything? And then we did the layout for that event, and we found what we needed, the formula, and it was like, okay, this isn't that bad. Just keeping track of D side, snake side is the hard part.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to calling the snake, I'm not, hey, snake one, talking about that guy.
Yeah.
Asymmetrical layout this year was just, I don't know if it's because everybody seen it before, but it was easier. Like it was almost night and day difference. Because I remember I was playing on Wreck-It Crew and we were just confused. There's no other way to describe it. Like we were just having a battle between how we want to call this or that. And then I remember they played asymmetrical. We played asymmetrical. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be when it comes to calls.
Yeah. Well, and we've had a couple years of it now, right? So like people have kind of gotten used to it. Kind of know we're going to see one a year at least when it comes to the NXL teams. So
yeah, just enough used to it for them to drop a new insane bunker.
Yeah.
Dude.
So
And actually, the
what do we
bunkers,
think about the Star Bunker, boys?
Go ahead. Ann.
I actually
Yeah.
kind of like it. Yeah, whenever I first played, the first time I played on it was at Fit for the glow ball, and I wasn't really a fan of it, but it was set up like an X on the field
Okay.
instead
Like
of
standing up?
No. So it was, instead of it being like one of like a plus, it was more of rotated 45
Okay, so
degrees.
like the V, you would like
Yeah.
from the back line, you'd run into the V instead of
Yeah, and if you wanted to, you couldn't shoot heads up out of it without getting shot in your back from across field. Like it was weird. But I ordered some. We got them here to the house, and we had our first practice, and I set up a layout that kind of made people use them so we could get used to them. That was something Chris Fred told me to do, and we actually, I think everybody on the team likes them pretty good.
I think where we put them, because we kind of put it at like the 50 Dorito and the 50 Snake is the only thing that really made sense at the time. And it's like, well, how are we going to make them? We were playing a 3v3 layout, so that just seemed to be the only way it made sense. I think playing it like that made it a little easier, but I don't think it's going to be quite that simple this year. For some reason, I feel like they're going to make it super difficult for no reason. And I will say though, the bunker is a lot larger than I thought it was. It looked, when I saw it at Cup, it looked a lot smaller than it really is. And when we got it at the house and unboxed it, it was like, dude, this thing is massive.
Yeah,
Like,
a little bit bigger.
yeah,
I
could like crawl all the way, because the way we had it set up, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be able to crawl to a certain spot in the snake, and then I have to protect myself. And I pretty much got to like a certain point, and then I could just kind of squat and walk like where I needed to, because it's so big. But I'm also a short player, so short king.
I gotta
you
play
you
this
aren't that short.
Yeah, well, I'm 5'9". That's short. I'm not like Hugo or anything, but
5'9".
short.
I'm not short. I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, no, dude, we are tall. We are tall. We're huge, above average. No, dude, we're huge. We're giants.
It's growing on me a little bit. We got to play it in Tampa this past weekend, and we had similar to what Anthony described, that where you could go into it as a like the I can't like
Like
you could go
into the V.
yeah. That we could go in the V at the 50, but on the 50 Dorito, it was set up how it's supposed to be. And so
Okay, the plus
I had
sign.
I had a lot of fun because there in the 50 there was beams connected to it, and then at the end of those beams there was a space and these towers. So you're able to kind of have fun, get creative up there. And there was a lot of times where I would use the beam to shoot somebody, but it was weird. I don't know how I like it as a center 50 bunker, but I do kind of like it as a Dorito bunker. I had a pretty
Okay.
filthy move, and I felt bad because I know the cat. He just hopped up on this semi-pro team. He's super excited. So here's the plus, right?
Mhm.
And so he's on a Dorito across from me, and then I'm on the Dorito on the other side of that 50. Well, I knew if I go forward, I either can shoot him, like I try to engage him and run him down, or I have to back up and he's going to try to run me down either way. So what I did is I just got creative in the idea. And so I got one of those V's. I come up, I try to shoot at him. He was in, but he heard me. And I knew because he's a young guy, he's going to try to run me down. So all I did was go to the other side of the V and he ran me down and he couldn't shoot me. He didn't shoot me. I felt so bad for him. He went all the way through, got torched by Henry, torched. And then I turned and shot him too.
Shot him.
And then I went right around and went and run down his boys and shot his boy on the snake. I think it's going to be a cool bunker. If I could do stuff like that, that was so funny. I felt bad for him, but it was a good move.
So I
It was
got to
growing on me.
play it the first time this weekend, and it was set up like a plus, about on the like 25-yard line, like almost as a god bunker. And I just played off of it a shit ton. Everyone else was going into like a side, but
As big as it is, you can play off of it.
yeah,
You
I
can
was
set a
able
back
to
line
like
bunker.
stand where like that plus symbol would be coming at your chest, right?
Mhm.
And kind of just crouch behind it. I mean, it's a big bunker. It's not as big as like a wedge or something. So I like that aspect of it. Yeah, we'll see how they use it. I guess my fear is like they'll use it to extend the snake.
I could see that. Do you like it overall, or are you kind of still trying to grow on it?
I hated it at first. It's growing on me a little bit. It'll be okay. I would have much rather seen other Doritos or some towers or something just to make the field a little bit more usable overall. Like some short Aztecs would have been nice, I think, instead.
I just wish it wasn't a plus. I
and
would just
I
like it to
still
where
want
it's
just
just
I want
this.
the A back. Yeah.
I kind of want the home plate back. Like that would be my choice.
Okay.
If I'm picking a bunker, I'm going to be the home plate. That's the one. I think for some reason I feel like they're going to use it as the back center. I'm really going to hate that. So you think you have
Fortress.
to like they're going to use it as the back center. You're going to pick a side and you're never going to be able to fill. And for some reason I just have that gut feeling that the NXL is going to put it as a back center bunker and we're all going to hate our lives.
I don't think they're going to do that.
I want them to put the V on the Starbucks so you could just start in it. It's like
Me and Anthony kind of explored the idea like
a
okay, so
fortress.
say you have the center brick, right? So like the giant brick, if they
Yeah.
put the corner of like wedged it into one side and the other side, it's kind of like an asymmetrical. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, it's like a centerpiece. So they would
Yeah.
have like the giant brick and then take the plus and put like this corner up against the square and that corner against the square and play it like it was asymmetrical center would be sick.
Mhm. That would be interesting.
It'd have to be an asymmetrical way.
It wouldn't have to be.
It technically would, because one side would have the shot and the other side wouldn't have the shot.
A lot of what I saw at our practice, though, about that bunker is that people love to pop a top on it. Almost so much so that they would kind of get a little messed up. And the only thing I didn't like about it was the difficulty of shooting somebody in the back. Like there was a point where Zach is in their snake one, okay? In their snake one,
Mhm.
and trying to shoot the dragon, what we were calling it, but the 50 Dorito, and he couldn't shoot him. And then I'm in the 50, the center 50, and I'm trying to shoot him. And it's like, what are we gonna do? Like it was just kind of, I don't know. There was a podcast recently with Keith Brown. I think it was on the Play the Game podcast, and he was explaining that the issue we're seeing now with why the field is slowing down is not because of paint or it's anything other than the bunkers. Whenever you play a field, what kills people is pinching someone out. So if I'm a snake player and I go to the other side of the field and there's somebody in the Doritos, they have no spot to lay down like a beam. But now because there's so many beams, they're having to displace those on either side. And so now you can now lay down and never get pinched out. And the issue you run into is now the games are slower because nobody's getting pinched out, even if you took all the ground. So
Yeah.
if I was the league, I'd probably say, "Look, we need to remove some freaking beams."
I say you just remove 4.
Yeah, me and
Yeah,
Anthony
4.
had this conversation like about a month ago where the NXL's trying to speed up the games to make it more interesting for a viewer. And they had the formula right back in 2013, 2012 when there was less bunkers. The games were fast. They weren't so fast that it was like what just happened. It was perfect. They carried unlimited paint, but the moves were so big that opens up that opportunity for pinching someone. You can
Yeah.
see the move. It's not like this guy's lost and not even the camera can find him. And I think they've just added too many bunkers. Like we have what, 54 bunkers now?
I think it's 56 or 58.
50. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like I don't even know that the fields had 50 back then.
No, I mean, back then, I think you were looking at like maybe 40 something
Right.
at that time frame.
And the games went by so much fast. You couldn't sit there and shoot a gap because, I mean, we'll be honest, like the guns wouldn't shoot that much more paint.
Yeah.
So, and the tanks now have gotten like you can get an 88 at the size of what a 68 used to be.
Yeah.
And they're getting more air efficient guns, more air in a tank per size the size of the tank, and there's more bunkers. Like that's a recipe for the game to be really slow.
I think
Well,
what
and if you
Alex
go
said
back
involving
and look at that, go ahead.
no,
You
I
go,
thought what Alex said
Chris.
was a pretty cool involving. Excuse me. I think it's important to bring up because if you know where a player is, you're actually more inclined to go attack them because you know where they're at and you think you have the advantage.
Mhm.
Whereas Alex's point, if they're lost, you play cautious, scared, almost, where I don't want to make this move and get shot. Where if it's a big gap and you just saw him make a move into this 5-foot gap to get into Aztec, then you're like, well, I know where he's at. I'm gonna go get here and gunfight him, which speeds up the game.
Yeah.
I mean, like the problems that I see is that, like, not to talk, too much crap about the cup layout, because I thought that the cup layout was really good, but you couldn't see anything on the cup layout.
No, you could not.
Break. I couldn't tell you if the guy made it into the Doritos, if the guy made it into the snake, unless I was the guy going out to the what we call the money or the beast, and
Mhm.
that's if I'm fast enough to get to the wire before he makes it into the bunker, and that for me was just kind of. And it didn't like the only time you got rewarded for making a move was whenever you made the final move on the field or on your side of the field. And really, the shots that you had in comparison to, let's say, your beast looking at the Doritos, you couldn't see anything. I don't know. It was just weird. That whole field, there was so much going on in the center, and this is why I'm glad that they brought the plus in. Is there was so many of those giant bricks and stuff, and they were placed to where you couldn't see anything. So I think that the plus is good because they've lowered the height of the center bunkers, at least 2 of them. So now if you're shooting off break, you're not having to have someone like Caldwell stand on his tippy toes at 6'4",
Mhm.
and he might shoot this guy off break if he's running high. This bunker, a person who's 6 foot can stand normally and shoot over it and can see if it's in the center of the field. So I think that that's a plus, pun intended.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Anthony. And to go back to the, earlier time we were talking about, if you look at like what the pros were taking out, it was 6 pods, for a front guy and maybe 8 pods for a back guy. Mike Paxton, heavy gunner, 8 pods on him.
I mean,
Not-
and you got to
Not
make
a
it
whole
happen.
case of
Like,
paint.
yeah, you got to make it happen here. You can't they didn't have time to play around sitting in these bunkers. You would get pinched out quickly. It's like this is the thing with like having your traditional layouts like D side, snake side, a lot of ladder snake stuff back then. You know, when you have the move and paired what Chris just said, like you know where the move is, you're more willing because you know where that guy's at to make the move. So that goes on both sides of the field. So now if I know that and I'm going to make the move, they know that I've made the move and I've got to either get out of this bunker or I'm going to die sitting here trying to hold what? I mean, you want to win fast or lose fast if you know you're going to lose. So we're going to make this move. If it's where nobody can be pinched out here, then you're going to just sit there and live behind your gun. That's all they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that made sense,
Well,
but
and no, it makes perfect sense to like tap onto Anthony's a little bit. You can't see anything when you're shooting off break, but you have to shoot these blind shots. As a player, that to me that sucks because you don't
Yeah.
know if you shot anyone. Part of the fun is seeing your ball connect, right? So
Yeah, and if you think you're the guy on the inside and you shoot through that blind spot, like this guy could just be there's no ref in there looking. It just gives him an opportunity to
Yeah.
cheat. Yeah.
yeah. So and we heard from Mike Hinman's league, the West Coast one, that when they brought back the X, the refs actually liked it better because they could see those center moves more.
Mhm.
I agree with
Which
that.
ultimately is going to provide those guys with a better experience if the refs can do their jobs, right?
Yeah, that is a good point. I didn't really ever think about that. Like the visual for the pros, or excuse me, the visual for the refs is arguably just as important as it is to players. Like if I'm a player and I shoot somebody in the center and he just magically gets away with it, what happens a lot, I can't really blame the ref if the ref has to go in. Like you have to force him to go in, get shot to check something that he should be able to see from the back line if there's not so many things obstructing him.
Yeah. So, with you guys going to the NXL, well, I'll look back to the other thing later. Chris, you've been coaching them at events. So how's coaching going to work? Obviously, you have duties with Ironman. You gotta play, right? So how's coaching going to work if the schedules don't line up?
So as of right now, I've even had a discussion with both my brothers as well as the team. I let them know that my involvement in the team is lowered this year because of our schedules being lined up as much as they are. So the way we're going to combat that, and we do need to do a better job on it, is where I'll be involved on any of their practices after the fact or even after layout if they get footage for me to break down with them and talk with them and discuss. And then hopefully if the schedule lines up, I'm also in college as well as work full time. It's just difficult to line it all up.
Got a full plate, man.
Yeah. Um, to try to be able to come down and just, do a little, not clinic, but like a coaching day. Similar, when I was on Wrecking Crew, we had Marcelo. He would come out on his off weekends and help coach the team. And that's what I'm hoping I can maybe provide for them. So it's different in that aspect. I won't be coaching at events, but what we have had is Anthony step up and he does a phenomenal job. He's arguably might be a better coach than me. And I think based off track record recently, um, and I think a lot of it has to do because of his involvement directly with the team. And, you can give him a lot of credit because, I'm a pro and whenever I come in, I have these things that I have to expect and want. And I'm probably kind of a hard ass as a coach at times, but for Anthony to just take the role and then run with it and do as well as he has, it's in my opinion very impressive and I'm proud of him as my brother. So Anthony's going to be the one doing like a player coach role.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just it's how it's been, and that's how we structured it, and I think my brothers would agree on that as well.
At Cup, Anthony coached us, and I got chewed out just like by Anthony, just like I would Chris, and it was kind of like reassuring. So, like,
Okay.
even with having Chris, right? Because Chris will tell you, like, I'm the one that needs to be chewed. Like, I'm the player that gets chewed. I've been better about it more, in the past year. But, Chris, for even whenever he coached us, not to take anything away from Chris here, like he couldn't be there all the time. So some of the like nuances that the team had or like things that we struggled with, he wasn't visibly there to see. We would have to tell him. And I think something that Chris is very good at is noticing how each player, reacts to coaching. Like this guy, you might be able to say, "Hey, Anthony," like Anthony's the type of person you can say, "Hey, Anthony, I need you to do this," and he's going to do it. And say he messes up, "Hey, Anthony, I really need you to do that. You got to get on that. You can't miss that." And he's like, "Okay." And he goes out and does it. I'm a player that typically has to be chewed out. And that's how I get to doing what I need to do. Well, Anthony has picked up from what Christopher has, already laid down, as well as has the information after being there all the time at every practice. And I think it's really helped out a lot. And, we knew this was coming, and Christopher was like, "Hey, look, both of you guys need to step up, be better leaders, be preparing yourself during this time while I'm coaching to be better leaders." And I feel like that has helped us and paved the way for us to still experience success and have success. Now it's just Anthony leading the pack here. And he did a great job at Cup. I felt great. Anytime he said anything, I knew it to be true, and we went out there and it worked. So it was no different than having Chris, and he's got a good strategic mind. So it's nice to have him. Plus, I trust him.
So I mean,
I would hope
it's
so.
it was a little bit different than having Chris. We had a better track record in prelims. We had a better record in prelims. It's okay. I had to show Christopher how to do it.
You earned it. Can't even say none.
So, Anthony, what do you think's going to be the biggest challenge? We've seen a lot of success with player coaches in the divisional pits
Mhm.
recently.
I mean, even in the
Jungle
pro pits.
Cats were player coached the
Yeah,
last two
even
seasons.
in the pro pits. I mean, you got Colt Lukow. I mean, he's part player
Mhm.
coach, and that shows. I watch a lot of that. I watch a lot of their
And
stuff and how he leads the team and stuff like that. And I also watch a lot of Mike Kinman with the way that he coaches, and I talk with him at events, and just getting pointers here and there. The best way, he said, the best advice he could give me was just know your guys. There's no better way than to just know how this guy's going to intake information, how the other guy's going to intake information. So as long as they can, you're not chewing this guy out that doesn't need to be chewed out, or chewing Alex out because he needs it. So, like, let's say Caldwell, I tell him, because most of the time he comes off and he knows what he did wrong, but he's the type that he'll go back out there and he'll do it again because he gets his emotions, his emotions will get up. And he plays a lot off of his emotions, and he plays really good with it. But sometimes it'll hurt him. So I really just have to make sure I keep him balanced. And then Alex I wouldn't say that he plays off of emotions, but it's more or less that I think that his emotions will control his game a little bit. Whenever he's on a high, he plays great. Whenever he's low, he still plays good. But I think that there's some
The differential.
yeah. And Cam, he's
Our
just
boy Cam.
I don't even know how. Whenever Cam comes off, I'm like, hey, I need this to be different. And he'll I got you, and then he'll come back and he'll ask me again, like he didn't hear me. But I mean everybody's got their own different things.
double checking.
Spencer Trey. It's been really cool because now I feel like I'm having to learn the guys even more than what I already know them. Jaden was a great player to coach.
Dude, I miss Jaden so much, man. That was my dog. Shout out to Jaden Bruckbauer. That's my dog, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was super impressed because the amount of growth that we've seen in him from whenever we picked him up till the last event that I got to coach. It was not only was it significant, but I was like just so proud of him to how much he was digesting and learning in the moment. He had some, I mean, absolutely insane points of running down players on the snake, played every point, running the snake, diving, doing whatever he had to do, winning gunfights, making moves, and
Phenomenal timing.
yeah, insane timing. And even though we didn't play as well as we wanted, we I couldn't not argue that he was definitely, if not the best, one of the best players at that event. He was just absolutely on fire. So it's difficult to lose him, but we picked up a new guy, Leighton, and excuse me, what is his last name?
Leighton Hudson.
Leighton Hudson. He now I haven't been able to watch him play as much, but I've actually been in contact with him a little bit more than some of the other players this off season. Whether he just I call him because I had to figure out how to get these I3s done, or my brother connected me with him just to talk for a little bit, and he's got a great head on his shoulders. And from my brothers have said he's a hell of a player, so I'm excited to see what he can do and allow him to play his ball.
So we always are, we look towards the future, right? So, and I feel like the smartest plan of action is to have your eye on a player or have an eye on multiple players and kind of just watch them how they go, like watch how they're playing, how they react in the pits, see if they're going to fit. I go to the AXLs as much as I can. It's, the closest local event to me. I'll be out there
Yeah.
this weekend. I'm looking for players that are on that bubble. They're right there. They may not 100% be ready, but they fit the mentality. They fit like the culture of war and all this, that, and the third. So Jaden was one of those guys that I told him in the beginning. I was like, "Hey man, look, you're right here, and you just need a little bit more work." But we wanted to bring him on. He came on and he proved himself through that work ethic and through like really listening and putting in that time. And I mean, the kid was doing like 2 or 3 days of drills during the week. And then when we weren't practicing, he's practicing there. And then he would come down and stay with us and practice. So we were looking, once we lost Jaden, he had some life things that he'll be graduating high school, like he's getting his license, things like that. And it's just really expensive to, play national. So he took, he's like, "Hey, look, I'm gonna go back, play some with the boys that I came from, the coup, and we're gonna miss him." So that being said, at the layout for Cup, you know, we didn't know that we were gonna lose Jaden at the time, but we were looking for another player, and we had some people that we had our eye on, and we're looking for work ethic. And Anthony had told me, like, I never got to see Leighton play a bunch. Anthony never really got to see Leighton play a bunch, and Anthony didn't even know what Leighton looked like, 'cause
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever met Leighton, he doesn't take his mask off much. So, like, he comes off the field, gets air, gets paint, get everything, he's got his mask on. So, me nor Anthony had ever hardly seen his face, and we're at the layout practice, he's playing with the convicts, and they're playing, we practiced them or whatever, and I noticed that, like, when the other guys were resting or sitting there doing this or doing that or preparing or whatever, he already had his tank ready, he had his gun, everything was ready, and he was, like, even if he wasn't on, he was at the entrance to the field watching. And we got done playing. He was more of a quiet guy, and, I talked to him, I was like, "Hey, man, what's the plan for next year?" And he's like, "I'm kinda just I'm just kinda in the wind seeing what happens." So I was like, "Okay." Well, you know, in my mind, I'm like, okay, this might be a guy we want to pick up because he's playing his ass off at the layout for Cup. Like, he played really well. The mentality, the work ethic, everything was there. So when we go to Cup, we get back, I'm like, hey, look, we got 3 players we're looking at here. Back and forth with Anthony and Christopher, we ended up deciding, hey, we're gonna shoot the gun on Leighton. We called. He was excited to play, and now we have him a part of the squad. Super good killers. He's he's definitely somebody I'm excited to play with, and he plays the snake side too, and I'm 29, so I'm getting kinda old out here, running over and over and over into the snake, so it's nice to have somebody to spin with me on it, so I'm really excited about it, and we work well together, so it's gonna be awesome.
Awesome. So got yourself a little 1-2 action.
Oh, dude, everybody in Division 3, be ready. It's the Lennon Hudson, wham, 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 wham. It's gonna be sick, dude. Scottie Pippen, Jordan, we're in there.
So, can we talk about the practice facility a little bit? What we got going on there, boys?
Let's go.
So what was it? I bought the first set, or it wasn't really a full set. There was a few bunkers that Black Ops and Myrtle Beach had that were just kind of sitting in a corner. And I was like,
Okay.
well, I'll get some of these and we'll start a little set, do some drills here or there, stuff like that. And it was one of those things where I just kept running by deals on bunkers and I just couldn't turn them down, you know? And now I have 2.5 sets of bunkers.
Nice.
And I mean, it's been really cool being able to have those bunkers here at the house whenever we're doing our small practices and stuff. Like, we don't have 10 guys, so we can't play, 5-on-5 paintball. But what we'll do is we'll set up a half field, kind of like the ESPN field,
Okay.
whenever they
Yeah.
did the ESPN livecast, and we'll do 3-on-3s. And it's just to make sure that we're able to stay connected on the field and learning to be more aggressive, because I feel like in 3-on-3, you're playing way more aggressive than you are in 5-on-5. So now you get that whole, I wouldn't say scared to make a move, but uneasy about it. you're questioning yourself. I think that as long as you have it to where you get that kill, you capitalize on it, and now whenever you find that move, you read it, you go and do it. So I think that it's been a great thing for that, and you really get to see the players show their colors when it comes to being an attacker. Even and that's everybody on the field, everybody. Your back players, your front players, everything.
Yeah, because in
You'll see 'em finding
three-man, you
this move.
can't just sit back there and roll it.
No.
No,
You
no,
got to make
you
some
get that
moves.
first kill, you gotta do something.
Yeah, you better capitalize on it with that 1-2 punch or you're done. They could even it up really quickly. I feel like a lot of our coordination and our communication, like we had trouble at either the second or third event or both really with our crossfield connection, like our communication. And when we dialed back and started doing some 3v3 stuff, it seems like dropping those two extra voices and ears off kind of like focused it so that we get a kill. Okay, let's hang out for a second. Let's coordinate what the move is here. And then move from that has helped us a lot in our communication just by making it a smaller, more focused thing. Having five guys, you have five voices, five, five sets of ears, five everything that you need to communicate and have across, whatever. If we're having trouble with across the board communication, all right, let's dial it back to three, get it straight, and then add those two bodies back. And it helped. So I don't know that I would say that's the best way, but with what we have only playing 3v3s, it's helped us a lot. So having the field is a ton of help. And this has been a dream for forever. Me, Anthony, and Christopher have all wanted to do this our whole lives pretty much. And now it's just about, getting 10 guys so that you can practice back and forth because the North Carolina fields are spread,
Pretty far out.
yeah. So you're driving, say I got to drive uh an hour here or an hour there. Okay, well, say it's not a viable practice or say, maybe it's not in the budget to play at this field or this field. It's like, well, anything outside of that is like 2-3 hours. But if you have 10 guys and you can play 5-on-5 on your off weekends until you find a scrimmage, that saves you a little money so that you can spend extra to go a little further.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it helps
Yeah.
out a lot. And full circle is actually kind of cool because the field we all started at Venture Beach Paintball, that's where we got the compressor from. So that
That
was
is kind of crazy.
really cool.
Hey, don't forget Eric Fenton now. That
Yeah, no,
boy,
Eric,
dude.
yeah, shout out Eric Fenton for getting us, bringing those bunkers up from Florida. That was, dude, great guy,
insane. Yeah.
insane. I mean, he said that he had bought them from Chicago 2023, and he had them sitting in his yard down in Florida, and he was moving from Florida to New York, and he said, "Look, I'm gonna rent a U-Haul trailer. We're gonna pack them in there, and I'm gonna bring them up to you." And I was like, "Okay."
All you got to do is pay for the U-Haul.
Yeah,
All I gotta
dude.
do is pay for the U-Haul.
And drop it off.
Yeah, dude. So shout out Eric Fenton for that.
Eric to me is like an epitome of just like the embodiment of why we play paintball, I guess is the best way to describe it. Him and his family, and Jacob played on war as well, which is interesting because I played with their team, Eric Fenton, and their team was called Royal Flush years ago. They played D3. And in 2018 World Cup, I played with them. My brothers were also in the team house, and we all got along so well. It was one event. Everyone on that team was like family, and we have still all kept up with each other. Like I'm still close with Isaiah Hope. We talk to Andy every once in a while, Michael Bishop. Like all these guys are on the team, and then Eric and Jacob Fenton. And
Matthew
it's so
Fenton.
Matthew Fenton. It's so interesting to see how it just the journey of our friendship to now, where not long ago Eric was like, "Hey, we have these bunkers. Would you like to, you know, get these?" And then Jacob joins our team as well as Eric came to my events he would fly to the events to watch me play because I had just made pro. And I just recently sent him a jersey and he was like super ecstatic and he was like, "I'm so hype about this. I just booked a flight to Tampa so I could watch y'all play again." It was like, you know what I mean? Just I don't know, just paintball is it's amazing what, the connections and the people you meet and just even something like that. Somebody's willing to go out of their way to not only look out for you and give you a bunker set, but they're also willing to take the time out of their day and go all the way to an event to watch you play, just to support you. Nothing else. Just to support you. It's pretty cool. A testament to how good paintball is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Eric is the man, dude. I love Eric. He's so awesome. He came to one of our matches. What I think it was a cup, either last year or year before last.
It was the year before last.
Yeah, and he was texting Jacob in the pit, like, this guy needs to da 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 da. Like, this dude runs with his head down every time, like, and you could hear him yell, "Let's go war!" Like he's screaming, and then he would send a text. It was hilarious.
That's
That guy's awesome. All the fans, I love them to death, dude.
Yeah, I found it interesting. Back to the facility question where you were talking about it. I've seen it, and I know my brothers have experienced it probably more than I have. But it's cool to see how many people are like, "Oh, the dream," or "This is amazing," or
Mhm.
"That grass," or I get a ton of people talking to me in person at these pro teams, or any of my teammates, and we'll discuss about like how cool it is to have that field there, or even they just were like, man, I would love to have a private field. Unfortunately, what's funny is that it's my house, but I'm not there all the time. But you know what I mean? I live here in Virginia Beach, is my home now, but still it's just cool to be able to go home to North Carolina and see, what they built, and be able to kind of just go out and just have a good time. Cause I remember I think last year for my birthday, I was like, all I want to do is a Hormesis duel. My brother set it up prim and proper, and we had a blast.
Dude, we had the lines painted, like the pit
Nice.
and everything. It was so cool. The Hormesis thing is like setting that up here is so like insane. Like even now, like it's at our house. Like we can set this up, and even whenever we get it done and we get it set up, it's like something that I'm like, this is our yard. Like this is our
Mhm.
yard right now. Like you have no reason. Like we have no reason not to compete at a high level now. Like you can just anything else is a purebred excuse. Like it would be an excuse. If you're not like playing at this level right here, it's your own fault. You have no reason to like, you can't be like, oh, well, it's an hour, or oh, it's expensive, or oh, this, like it's right there. So if you don't do it, it's up to, it's on you. And
Yeah.
same with the players. Like you have, most of our guys are within an hour. So for a while there, we were doing before everybody's work schedules got all crazy, but like we were doing Wednesdays. Like, hey, Wednesday afternoon, y'all trying to pull up. And I had this tiny little grill that my dad's girlfriend was gracious enough to let us destroy it. She gave us this little grill, and everybody would bring, like, this guy would bring hamburger meat. This dude would bring dogs. Like, this guy's bringing the buns and whatever. And we would have like a little 30-minute break and just be,
And the
cooking.
grill always got too hot.
Yeah, dude. So
The grill always got too
we're
hot.
cooking, and we're trying to play while cooking. So it's like hockey puck burgers and burnt dogs, and they were eating, and we were all good, and get back to work. And I it's just still surreal the fact that this is even a real thing. Like I'll be honest with you, I'm like hypercritical. So I'm sitting here looking like, hey, this ground needs to be a little more level right here. We need to fix this, or we need to. I'm turning into like a dad with his lawn. Like it's weird. Like we need to aerate this. And I see the pictures and videos, and then we're going to these other fields, and I'm like, dang, like this actually, the grass is kind of pristine here comparative to a lot of fields
Mhm.
nowadays. Like, so it's just a blessing, and I'm super happy that I get to, that this is something that we can not only have for ourselves, but also, have for the team. That way that we can all get better. It makes things cheaper, makes things easier on everybody. And I feel like every team that really wants to go the distance should look into doing this. Like you don't have to buy a brand new set. Buy what you can. If it's one bunker, go buy one bunker and work on it. You don't even have to have a full yard. You can have a fenced in backyard or whatever and just blow it up, do some snaps back and forth. Actually, Christopher knows Nestor really well, but I watched Nestor's videos. He plays with Shock, or he did. I don't know if he still does or not, but
Nah, he's playing with another team, but either way.
either way, I watch him on Instagram. He posts it constantly. It's just him like every afternoon in his backyard with a bunker shooting at a tree. And that is that's really all it takes is just the muscle memory back and forth. And then all you're practicing would be like where you're getting your game situations and your sense and this, that, and the third. But if you can knock this much out, I mean, you're already that much further ahead of the next guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And that in between weekends time, so there's weekdays where you can go out and shoot 500 balls. Man, it elevates your game.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
it's insane what that will do for you. And you're looking at a case for the week, right? Like at
Yeah.
most. So
That
and you
paired with the paintball game.
the VR one?
With the VR, there's a lot now. You got VR, you got Infinite Paintball, and you
Mhm.
have the one that we play, Anthony. What was that one?
Paintballers.
Paintballers,
They've got
dude.
like 2 or 3 more that have come out since then.
Yeah. So so now we have
There
like
was
a
one that was a
plethora of games.
scam. Boy, I spent way too much money on some skins.
That's, you're talking about, what was it? Ink?
But yeah, I bought the premium skin. I spent $40 on that game, and I couldn't even hit somebody because the hit recognition was so bad.
Well, you have like
But it looked cool.
so many things now that could make you better. Like you get you a bunker, go out there, work on your muscle memory back and forth. You know, a hopper, if you don't have a ton of time, a hopper each hand, a hopper left, hopper right, whatever. And then, later in the afternoon, it's dark outside. You can't do this. Okay, hop on paintballers, hop on Infinite, hop on VR and get your game sense or like understanding the win ratios or all these things that are like manage time. And then you get to the weekend, you can go to the field. Like there's so much to ingest and digest now as somebody that wants to study. Like you can watch footage, you can do drills, you can play paintballers or Infinite or whatever, you can go to the fields. Like it's becoming something that, you know, even though this sport's expensive and it's hard to do throughout the week, like you can do other things to study.
Yeah,
So there's
there's
really
options.
there's
That-
options now that we like back in the day you didn't have, not even close. I mean, because we all know Greg Hastings paintball, Maxed and all that was like legendary games, but you're not really learning anything. It's more arcadey.
Mhm.
Shout out NPPL Paintball 2009. I loved that game.
Facts.
I loved that game.
Dude, even 2D paint, dude, me and Anthony stayed on 2D paintball for like a minute. We were on 2D
Yeah.
paintball. You can play it where like the other team is blind, so you have to figure, and it's literally just a little dot that you're moving around and playing paintball, but you can kind of learn the field and learn who you're shooting at. It helps every little bit.
Yeah. That's awesome. And like you said, it's you guys in the Hurricanes that have
Yeah.
home facilities, So
I'd love to
Dude,
have a facility like that. Holy shit.
dude,
That
that
thing is
thing,
crazy.
that is, pristine, primo, exactly what you
Yeah.
need.
I was talking to Tom about it. You talking about the new facility in Texas.
Yeah.
So Tom was there this past weekend, and he was explaining to me like that each side, which he might have brought this up, or somebody might have brought it up. Each side of the field has basically like apartments, and it could fit basically. I think there's 12 rooms on each side, and each can fit
3.
Each room can fit 3
Yeah,
people.
I just
Yeah,
watched the
each
podcast.
okay, yeah, each one could fit 3, but he was telling me about how nice it was. He thought it was cool that there was laundry, and then of course the podcast brought it up as well. So that's the standard. I think right now, and I kind of want to hear y'all's opinion on this. I think right now we're at this very beginning stage where people are starting to take paintball a little more serious and more professional than probably
Mhm.
ever. Now, the pros, in my opinion, it's very top heavy right now. I think it's probably the most competitive it's ever been in the pro division. And then you're starting to see a difference in. Here's another thing I wanted to bring up too. The game has had different iterations of like the boom, if you want to say. Dynasty basically created the fundamental running gun, this and that. And then, of course, there's probably been some small ones in between. But to my knowledge, the most other impactful change to the game was, of course, Edmonton Impact. And what they did was that they focused on the clock management. They're like, we're going to win slow, lose fast. And if we're about to lose this point, we're getting out of it. That was completely different than everybody else's mentality of it's 2-on-3, 3-on-5. We're holding the point as long as we can. So they changed the game and they went on a long run. And then you had this like limbo effect that, in my opinion, didn't really change anything. It was just Dynasty doing what they do. They had this run. It wasn't like they weren't playing anything other than exceptional. It was just, they were just the best at this type of format now. Whereas I think there's a new change happening where Paintball Fit is kind of the pioneer of it. So Paintball Fit, although they're new pros, they have obviously come in and established the foothold in the league of being one of the top 4, if not, one you think is going to win every event. And I think it comes down to more than just talent, as you could see. It's their prep. When you go look at any other sport, F1 is a very, very big one, but any other sport is whenever you start getting the people that aren't technically the sports people, that are not the guys that are out there drilling, or they might not be the most exceptional, but they're passionate about certain things. When you start getting that innovation, that engineering, that, okay, well, why am I not hitting off break as much as I can? So we're going to build this cooler. And develop this thing to where we can keep our paint in an appropriate temperature. You go watch Fit in the pits. They have a cooler guy. They have their pit guy. That's his job. He goes to the paint truck. He puts it in a cooler. He then takes it to the pit, and they move all the bags out into this very big bag, and then they put it into this cooler that they made that is very expensive. And then now X Factor's starting to do it, and now these other teams are starting to do it. And that's what I'm saying is like you go look at Foot's game. They shoot more people off break than anybody else. Now it's slowly changing, but when they come in the league, they were dangerous off break, and it was because of that type of level of preparation. And I think that since they've come in, it's the floor of something that's going to change the game entirely, where you're going to have all these teams that are going to be now talking with these very, specialized people, whether it come to engineering or, some type of innovation or a way to build up our sport from equipment level all the way to the pinnacle. And now then the players have to adapt to the equipment, not the opposite.
So when you say top heavy, you mean like the top 10 or the disparity
No.
between the top 10 and the bottom?
I'm saying the difference between pro and every other division is
Okay.
significant.
Well, the reason why I was asking that is because, like, we're in this, it seems like just you mentioning it made me think about it. And it's like for a long time, we've had like teams that earn their way in, right? And even before when they had the Challenger Series, they would work their way out, but then go right back. And it's just because they'll sit on the bottom for 5, 6 years, maybe have one good event, but they never break that top 10. And I think now people are working so much harder that it's shortening that disparity between the top 10 and the bottom 10. And then we've had like moments to where semi-pro and pro, there's a giant disparity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're starting to see these semi-pro teams that are putting in that much work, like the bottom 10 pro teams. And we're going to, it feels like we're right there on the cusp of something insane. Like just to agree with what you were saying, Chris, it's like everybody's digesting this information as well as, the guy that's not playing has a spot now because he's good at this, the X's and O's, the coaching, the cooler, the engineering side, the whatever. And like, we're right there. If the players are taking it this serious and the teams and the people that are involved with those teams, the viewership and all that stuff is going to come right behind it because people are going to respect what these people are doing. It's like MMA, UFC, before it was UFC, Dana White was trying to build the UFC and everybody was like not really wanting him. They didn't want it because it was brutal and it looked bad and it was hard to watch because of the blood and all this and the third. And now you look at the UFC, it is probably one of the most watched things like on TV. It's because those guys took it serious and went that much further. They all took it serious as a unit, and now the fans followed.
Well, and we've talked about pit crew on previous shows with you guys, but that's becoming incredibly important, especially in the pro, and I would argue the semi-pro level. Like, you have to have a good pit crew.
Yeah.
And that just separates, like Chris was saying with the paint, like you got one team doing that and then the other team sending players or, some kid they just picked up to run, go get it. And it's, World Cup, it's hot as hell. So it's coming out of a refrigerator, essentially getting taken there, and it's doing, it's condensating and the ball's getting a little bit rubbery and like it makes a big difference.
There's so many variables, dude. Paint is like, it's like one of the most difficult things that in the hustle and bustle of like in the pit, it's hard to maintain, but you have to do it because there's so many of those variables, weather, paint, flights, like travel, sleeping, all this, that, and the third. Like if you traveled from here to California and you're jet lagged, like that's a variable. There's a ton of things like paint, any you can dot or T you can cross to help you, like you need it, and you need like luck and the sun and the moon and the stars, you need all that. So I do think taking that serious, like taking paint serious and like figuring out what causes this and what causes that, and it's huge, along with even the pit energy.
Yeah.
I think also pit energy, I want to build off of that. I think people neglect the fact that your pit staff, your pod runners, all of them are just as essential as the player. And so I've seen, especially you look at some of all you have to do, go to a team that does well, go look at their pits, and 9 times out of 10, that pit guy is proud to be there. wearing a jersey, whatever. You take care of them, they take care of you. It's less somebody has to worry about. I don't think right now there's enough people that understand that type of energy. They're not there to be under your foot. They're there to support you, and you should treat them just as well as players. And the reason I say that is because they'll do more for you. And yeah, I think also just in general is to keep building off that energy thing. Like if everybody's proud to be where they're at, if everybody's happy, then when you delegate things, you don't have to worry about it because they want to do well for you. And that's where attitude comes into play. That's where, focus and understanding and all this. It's very important.
Well, even like you think about Chris and Anthony, both of y'all remember like nobody wanted to be pod bitch. You know what I mean? Nobody wanted to be somebody's pod bitch. And like the smart guys nowadays, are using it as a opportunity to learn. Like I'll be honest, like Christopher, you play with Wrecking Crew. One of the, a huge learning moment for me was being able to work with them and see their mentality and see how things are going. I didn't get to play. It didn't matter. It was okay. You are in the pit with these guys learning actively. You get to see how this guy reacts. You get to see how this guy reacts. And like you have more time than you think. Like you're doing all this stuff, but that doesn't mean you're not learning the entire time. I would say to anybody that thinks that it's like a demeaning job or something that like you wouldn't want to do, it ends up being worth it if you're with a good group that you're going to learn from. So use it as, an opportunity to put your name out there, get to know these guys, or if you're working on something after the tournament or after whatever, you can ask them questions. That helped me more than anything was like taking in that mentality, seeing what I could do not only for myself, but now it has translated to what I believe in the pit for our team. They had moments to where Wrecking Crew had moments to where they would kind of like get the energy would get a little too big and they would be like, hey, 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 hey. And they would bring it back down and then they'd go back out there and they wouldn't play chaotic. And that's really, I'll be honest, I'll give Wrecking Crew guys that. Like that helped my mentality in the pit. Like, hey, I need to make sure that I'm here because that trickles out there. So
It does. It bleeds.
Yeah, big time.
Well, and it gives you an opportunity to see the other side of it, right? Like most people don't have a local pro around them, and to get to see how like coaches, either a high divisional or pro coach, like handles the pit, and if you can take that and take it back to your organization, it can be huge for you.
Yeah, 100%.
So, what are we looking forward to the most this year, boys?
I think that I want to see how the entire team does with a full national year, because I think that the big thing that we ran into last season was the blind layout hurt a lot of our players, which it in retrospect technically it shouldn't. If you're a sound player, you should be able to play on a blind layout. But having that layout, I want to see how much better we do for an entire season in comparison to playing blind all year and then we had a pretty good event at Cup, I think. So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to be, traveling with the new guys, with the guys that we've had and with the new guy. I'm excited to be coaching. I enjoyed coaching at Cup. I had a really good time, and it's just going to be a good year. And practicing is going to be pretty fun too, because we're wanting to set up some stuff like we're not going to be playing the Dover event just because they placed the first 3 events really close together. So I think that it was best for us to knock the Dover event off, take that time to practice. If we can get a good travel practice in, go off somewhere and go and practice with a higher division team. I'd like to do that. We're gonna do some stuff, team bonding stuff between then too. So it'd be good for everybody.
War family hike.
Okay.
Camping trip, hike, golf trip, anything.
Yeah, yeah. We try and incorporate a couple of days in the entire year just to make sure that everybody on the team is staying, like a family.
We recently did a skeet shooting day. Like we shot clay pigeons at the house. Nobody died.
Nice.
Surprisingly, you got a group of us, all of us together, and didn't hurt anybody.
I mean, we're all decent shooters. Maybe not you, Alex.
Hey, I did phenomenal, bro. I
Maybe
did
not you.
phenomenal.
It was me. It was me, Trey, and
Hold on now.
me,
Hold
Trey, and
on.
Alex Caldwell.
Hold on. Was this a shot at my off break? Because I'm pretty nasty off break, actually. Don't do that. Don't do that.
We don't like to give Alex credit. His ego's
Don't
already
do
too
that.
big.
My running gun is nasty. But
Shots on Brady's good. I don't know about your running gun, but
my running gun's phenomenal. What do you mean?
phenomenal.
He might be
Dog,
like Cam. Cam is one of those people that he can't shoot standing still, but he can shoot running.
I can do both.
That's how
Don't get me
Cam
wrong.
is.
Look, I'm the GOAT. Okay, I'm the GOAT. I'm
I
the
like
GOAT.
that. I'm looking forward to see
Alex.
them win. That's what I'm looking forward to. See War do their thing and win.
I'm
I'd
looking.
love to win an event. I'm
I
excited.
think no
to see.
matter what the goal should be, either way, the whole year, you set these small goals. It's national is different from the regional, although it is the same division. You then set your goals first match, second match, and then you say make Sunday, and then you say, all right, now we want to be consistent Sunday, or we want to make a deep Sunday run. But I think most importantly with paintball, it's so special to be able to say, hey, each one of these events that we play are just a build up to the most important one, which is World Cup. So even if you play absolutely dog shit all year and then you go to World Cup and you win, guess what people remember? World Cup.
Yeah.
You won the season.
Yeah, doesn't matter as long as you win World Cup.
I think that if I set a goal personally for the team, I would want that goal to be, let's make Sunday every single event.
Win World
Every
Cup.
single event.
Well,
And win World Cup.
if I was gonna say what I'm most excited about, honest, it's like I'm just excited to travel with my friends and do what I like to do. Like that for me, that's more than anything I could ask for. Like paintball has taught me so much about like life, and it's brought more people to me. Like I said this to Anthony and Christopher not that long ago, and a buddy of mine, Trey Young, shout out Trey Young. Paintball has given me friends that like I talk to on a daily basis. Like I have more friends that are more than 4 or 5 hours away than I have near me. And it's like, I don't know, it's ridiculous. Like I've met some of the greatest people, and it's just by traveling with my friends doing what I love. And I can't see my life without that. So I'm just another year blessed and happy get to do that, and that's what I'm excited about. I get to go to war with my boys, experience all of it, ups and downs, all of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I'm excited for.
Well, what do we think about the 5-pod limit, boys? I know it doesn't affect Anthony and Alex as much as it does you, Christopher, but what do we think
Well, I'm gonna
about?
tell you
What's
right
our
now,
opinion?
It's the best thing ever. I love it. My back don't hurt.
Yeah?
It makes everything so much faster and fun. And this is the particular reason I didn't even think about this. Excuse me. I didn't even think about this whenever it happened. Right. I thought about, I thought a little negative at first. I was like, well, if they limit the pods, then that means that, people are going to run out of paint. They're just going to sit there. Then I thought, well, 5 pods does kind of make you want to move a little faster. But the most important thing that happened is when you have a opportunity on the side, say if you shoot somebody off break and they're short and you get wide and you have the containment, you have this much time to make sure that you capitalize on it. It like every move is much more important than it ever has. Because this past weekend, this was Ironman's first weekend together since the event. We had a whole bunch of weather issues and travel stuff, so we got together for Tampa. And one of the things we noticed was that when points went real long, things got real squirrely, and it was because everybody doesn't have as much paint, and you're letting people fill. And even though you had the advantage, you had everything, you're just on this different type of tempo. You're like, oh, I got 7 pods. I even caught myself doing, I'm in the corner, I'm dumping paint, and I'm like,
Man.
all right, I need to wait. I need to chill out. I am running out of paint. And you wouldn't think about it. And then the guy fills, and it's simply because you're running out of paint. So it makes it, to me, I think it changes the game. It makes it better. I'm running a 3-pack with 2 pods on the side. Like, I'm loving it. I hope that the whole league switches to it, because to me, the sport needs to switch. And I get this is how the money's made. And yeah, shout out to Defy Paint. It was shooting money all weekend, no doubt. Let it fly. But I think that the way we can get into paintball and show people is we have to sell the experience. Even if that kind of costs, a little bit more on paint to help keep the paint distributors happy. I think there's got to be a way to, push things in a direction of, I'm talking about at a local field. We're not selling paint. We're selling the experience, similar to what Fit does. And there's obviously other places that do just as well, but I just think that a fit has really set the standard whenever it comes to experience at a field because of the glow ball.
Yeah, the glow ball, the night ball, like because that's in my opinion selling the experience because I mean you pay $50 and they have an allotted amount of time and you can play as much as you can
Mhm.
and you don't have to buy paint. The paint's there. Like it's insane.
But I'll tell you, even watching, like, because I haven't been to Fit yet. Anthony and Chris have both gone and played the glow ball events. Anthony's played 2 now. Josh has played 2, and Chris has played 2 too as well. My bad. But I watched it over the live, and it's pretty freaking entertaining, dude. I mean, they do a good job because, like, the whole time you're watching, you're like, oh, the orange team, what was it, Carrot Tops or something?
No, the Carrot Crew.
Yeah, the Carrot Crew. I'm like, wait a minute, they're both orange. I was so confused, but like when you finally learn who the team is, you're like, oh, you can see the paint, you can see this, and like during the day, you're not going to be able to find a camera that's catching that paint flying. But if you
Mhm.
put that light on it and it's glow ball, it is easy to track, and watching it is just as entertaining as. I mean, it's probably not as entertaining as playing, but I can follow it. Is what I'm saying.
I
I
will
almost
say
think
if
that
you're
we
in
should
this
just go glow ball for the pros and the divisional.
I will
if
say, I did
you're
tell
playing
Anthony. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
in the snake and people are like shooting over you, you can't see the paint
No,
because it's only lighting up the top half of the ball. Yeah,
Dude,
didn't think about that.
I did
yeah.
not. That would
It's kind
not
of
be.
it's kind of crazy.
That's not very cash money.
No, it's still really cool though.
Speaking of that 5 pod limit thing, though, 2 things. Christopher, I just mentioned Anthony earlier. You wearing a 3-pack makes you look like a giant. You look like huge, dude. You look giant because that 5-pack is so small. You look like Tom Guess height. And the other thing was, I didn't really think about you like it would almost essentially make the 2 and the 1 stick together like goldfish because you can't sit back in the beast and just hold the guy anymore. You don't have the paint. But wait a minute, is the rule? Can I share paint with you? So if
Yeah, we did the baton method. We would run around the field and just hand it off. But yes, you can genuinely, like, if you want, like, I feel like there's gonna be people that do that, but I think it'd be really fun where you have somebody like starts and they have like their hand out and they're touching the box and then they just hand it off as soon as it starts. You might see that.
That's actually
that-
really smart.
that's I got to
That's
think about
really
like
smart.
Yeah.
that's
One
pretty-
handed like this and grabbing it.
I will say that I think like probably from now on the division, it would probably be smart as a divisional team to practice with 5 pods.
Mhm.
Like if this is the future and this is what they're gonna do is like making pro being 5 pods, probably should practice with 5 pods at practice.
Did want to bring up something that was kind of funny from our practice. We didn't ever notice it because we're just playing. But so we had Shock, Red Legion, and Shock Semi Pro. Well, we're playing. You cannot differentiate Shock Pro and Semi Pro because they are all wearing the exact same gear. I'm talking about we were joking because they were like a coalition, like literally like a military. They were moving together, doing everything together. And we're like, man, we had a fight. We gotta be careful. But either way, it was funny because their semi-pro line wasn't practicing with 5 pods. So you'd be playing and be like, damn, he's holding that lane like a It was pretty funny. But
No, I
yeah,
think
I like
you'll
the 5
definitely
pods.
see it. Yeah, you'll as long as it goes well this year, I think it'll creep down to semi-pro at minimum, right? Yeah, my understanding was they voted on it and chose not to do 5 pods for semi-pro, but I would have done it.
I think that would have been good because I mean, if you went out of semi-pro and you go in, you're playing like in my opinion, it's going to be almost a completely different type of paintball
Yeah.
because of how you've practiced all year, you've played great all year with 13 pods on your back.
And you pair that with the skill gap between semi-pro and pro, and that's a big
And then it
difference.
makes it difficult for, in my opinion, whenever you're going against teams for practice. I think they should have thought that a little bit more
Mhm.
out. Where, I mean, look, playing against other pro teams, in my opinion, is good. Always, high
Mhm.
competition. But the issue you run into is competitive ego. At one point or another, I've had more unfortunately, I've had more instances playing against pro teams and them cheating against me as a pro than I have whenever I was semi-pro playing against a pro team. And we wouldn't, because it's just I don't know if it's a privilege thing. Like, I'm privileged to come and play against this pro team, so I'm going to take care of this opportunity. Or it's more of what I think it is I'm playing a whole different division. Why do I need to be dishonest to them? I'm not trying to beat them. And so that's where that, like, I don't know. I feel like they should at least made semi-pro 5 pods as well. But then you would have about 150 semi-pro teams now because everybody's trying to save money. So I guess I get it. So
Yeah, we would have played semi-pro if we knew that we could only shoot 5 pods.
it's like, why not? And
Play the whole event with 20,
yeah.
20 boxes or 20 cases.
And then the paint distributor would be like, okay, or what division are you playing? Semi-pro, about $30.
That's another thing I'm super excited for. Part of, like the hardships of playing like local and regional is like they don't really work with your like local you're working with whatever the local field shoots, right? So us being sponsored with Defy, like we couldn't shoot their
Take
paint.
advantage of the paint.
Right.
Yeah.
And now it's like divine intervention, dude. We're playing national. They're same year that they're going to start selling paint at nationals. Like, I'm super excited. They make sure, that we're taken care of at Cup. They were all friendly. Like, it was like a big party in their tent. It was a blast. So, like, being able to be around those guys and have a good time. They're a fun group too. That's another thing I'm excited for, because they're really cool to be around. Todd and Chad and Crystal Sawyer too. They were all having a blast. And then what's his name? OS Media or Oz? He's like,
Oswald?
he's like riding around like, let it fly with Defy on a bike, like having a blast. It's a good time.
It's
dude.
actually a catchy song. Like, I weirdly is. But I even shout out Dylan. Dylan was out there this past week. Ironman
Yeah,
is
dude.
sponsored by Defy this year, which I think is really kind of full circle for us as well.
Yeah.
But shout out Dylan. He does a great job, and
Yeah, he
all of
does.
his photos and videos are amazing. He looks out for us a lot, involving Ironman as well as war.
Yeah, I love Dylan. He's a great dude, man. The first time I don't remember the first time I met him was either this year at Ohio, or maybe it was at Cup, but he had messaged me about the field here. He's like, yo, dude, like I want to get out there, da da da. And I'm like, yeah, let's set it up. And I think he thought that we were like closer to California or something. But when I was talking to him, he's like, yeah, dude, I thought you guys were like on the West Coast or somewhere near me. Like, no, dude, you're on the East Coast. You're really far. But I got to talk to him and meet him. Like, he's a super cool guy. He's like wanting to connect and do a lot. And, it meant a lot to me. He posted him and Vital, by the way, Vital Images. They're really good about posting and making sure the video is, telling a story. And for both of them, actually, because they both put it on their stories and was like, this is a team I really love, or a team I love to watch. That means a ton to me, because it shows, that what we're doing is actually, that we do have people that follow what we're doing and they care about what we're doing. And they're listening to the podcast like this and like seeing the progression that we're speaking, almost into existence or manifesting. So
We
that
have an
means a lot
impact.
to me. Yeah. It's a
It's
little
cool.
bit 1% every day, but it's making changes and it's working. So I'm happy.
Well, you guys do a really great job of supporting your sponsors. Like I don't think there's been a week since like we had originally connected that I haven't seen something from War about Defy Paintball.
Well, you think,
Yeah.
dude, you think
I still
about
love
this.
that video we made.
I-
Birds.
Yeah, that's great.
So
Uh,
my whole thing, right, is like, all right, so these guys are going to go out on a limb and help a team. All right. You have to they're making it worth your while. You have to make it worth their while. It's a mutual thing. It's kind of like a job interview. If it fits for them that you're there, great. If it fits for you that you're there, they're great. The second that one of those like things are broken, now it's a one-sided thing. So Defy does a lot for us. Flow does a lot for us. Like, all these people that are sponsoring us, like, they do a ton for us. And the least, that we can do is help them. by promoting and doing this, that, and the third. I feel like that's that mutual respect that you have to have as a team, because if not, like I don't know, like how can you respect not, holding up your end of the deal there?
Yeah.
Because Defy's always made sure we were taken care of. Flo's always made sure we were taken care of. Stance has always made sure we were taken care of. And then, my dad,
my gun.
JMS
Or my gun.
yeah, trade my gun. Like Mr. Mike is the man. Every time we see him, he's super excited. He hands us a shirt, here, whatever. Or he'll go in there and say, what did he tell us? It was a code word one time. It's like, walk in there and tell,
Can't remember what it
a
was.
code word. And he's like, tell everybody. So I'm like running around World Cup going like, hey, say white rhino or whatever it was. And they're coming in there and getting shirts. And like, that's fun. Like, and the sponsors that we have are not like this suit and tie, like everything. So like, Todd and Chad and all them, like they like to have fun. Steve likes to have fun. Mike likes to have fun. And then they are cool with us going out and having fun. Like, for all I know, say somebody else was out there, they might not like whatever. They might have thought we were playing around too much, but they loved it. And it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's like the stupid fly commercial that they did.
Yeah, like stupid
That
fly.
is, yeah, dude. like Todd is hilarious. He's like the king of making like the whole.
Yeah,
And it's not. It's kind of corny, but like that's the whole point behind it. That's what makes it so there.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Like the windbreaker,
like the 250
dancing.
cal 250 cal paintball.
Yeah,
video back in the day.
Pod's real big. Squeegee real big. Like those videos are what we grew up on. He's the same person. And I don't know, like that to me is something, like that's culture. And how can you not have fun with that? So they make it fun for us to post, it makes it fun for us to be creative and post these things. And we're going to continue to do it because they're the best sponsor ever. They're awesome. Like we have the best sponsors ever. They take care of us. We make sure that, people know that. That's what's important. That's going to help the sport grow.
It's embedded in us, from our family. You take care of the people that take care of you. And no matter what, everything is reciprocated. If somebody goes out on a limb, just like Alex said, and wants to take care of us, what we do is we double, triple down. And then, it always somehow seems to work out for us. We're very blessed individuals always, no matter what, whether it's, I don't know. I feel like my brothers would agree with this. It seems like no matter where we go, we always seem to find some of the best people in the world, whether it be friends, family, just happenstance people, just willing to go out on a limb for us or take care of us. And, not a lot of people have that opportunity. It could be, the type of people we are or what, I don't know. But I don't know. It's just cool to see, like Defy or these different companies just willing to help us. And we're going to make sure to do whatever we can to reciprocate that type of energy and support.
And to tag on to what, Christopher just said, me and Anthony and Chris, I know I speak for all of us. Like, we really do appreciate everybody that's in our corner. We appreciate everybody that helps us, and we love all y'all. And it really does mean everything to us because this is our entire life. And so
that's all we talk about, even with our dad.
Literally.
I don't even know if I've ever talked to my dad about anything else. It feels like,
dude, like
maybe
he'll call
Starlink, maybe little aliens, but
my dad, like he'll call you. I'll be out at I'll be doing something, or like say we're at practice or whatever, and he'll call me. Now, mind you, we live together. Like he'll call me or he'll come in the house and be like, "Hey, so and so moved over to Aftershock. What do you think? Or what do you think about this? What do you think about who's moving from the Ironman?" And then we get on this long conversation. It's like an hour or two long, and it's just paintball. Like it's like our entire family, even my mom. Like my mom, she's not very good at Instagram. She's really good with AI, like too good with AI. It's kind of scary, dude. She's brutalizing us with the AI videos.
She sent. I want to bring up this just because I think it's funny. So we have this ongoing joke. Unfortunately, Alex didn't get bit by the AI bug by my mama, but Anthony and our aunt gave us these. Whatever. She gave us these things called fugglers. These little ugly stuffed bears as a joke or whatever.
And
she
they
gave
have
us
like
for it.
realistic.
She didn't know
teeth.
that they were called. She didn't know that they were ugly.
Yeah.
She thought
they
it
were
was just a
fucking
stuffed
ugly.
animal to get. And they're called. I was like, it's a fuggler.
So the funny thing is, like you got to know my aunt because she's like she's like she tries her best not to cuss, like she's trying, you know what I mean? Like she's like super religious. So like when we told her what it was and she's like, what is that? What is that? I don't even know. Now mind you, this is like a stuffed animal Kirby style hair with realistic looking and feeling teeth in it.
They're like porcelain teeth.
It's terrible. It's the ugliest
not a
thing.
full set of teeth either.
And I'm like, she's like,
arguably it might be scarier.
He's like, I don't know what it is, but I thought it was cute and y'all would love it. And I'm like, okay, do you know what fugly means? And she's like, no. I'm like, it means fucking ugly. And she's like, oh my God, like she freaked out. And
then our mom, right? We each held up our fugler and took a picture of it. And I don't think Alex took a picture with it, but out of nowhere, my mom sent me a picture of Anthony, and his whole body had turned into the fugler he was holding. And I go, Mama, you cannot do this. This is not good. And then she sent me one of me. And I go like, Mama, you got to stop. Like the other day, and I'm not hating on my mom. It's funny. But she had a picture of her from Christmas. It's a good picture, nice picture. But she changed her profile picture, and I called her, and I go, Mama, I love your profile picture, but we're not from the Ozarks, okay? Everybody knows that. She's like, well, I love the Christmas picture, and it was so AI is just she's on the AI bug, and she's having a lot of fun with it, but it's still just funny to bring up.
I know she typed in. I know that there's this one. Anthony has a suit on. We all have suits on. We're wearing these nice watches in the AI picture. And Anthony has like a pocket watch with a gold chain that runs out. And I know she just typed in, make my sons look like billionaires. I just know it. I know it.
And then we had the brother.
Yeah.
With, like
bikers.
What is that show you like to watch, Alex?
Sons of Anarchy?
We're Sons of Anarchy, 1000%.
Yeah. Like she's just gotten bit by the AI the AI bug. But yeah, our mom, like, she's not very good at Instagram, right? But like when she's like, I need y'all to like tag me or send me in this so I can repost it. And I'll notice, because I'll go on my Instagram and it's like, you know, my mom has got a story up, and I'll click it and it'll be like a video of Chris from like 8 months back. Like she finally found it and like videoed it. So like the support from everyone means everything. Like even, you know, Anthony's friend Weston, shout out Weston, by the way. I don't know if you saw the video we posted. He wanted to know what it was like to play paintball. We could tell he was a little timid, you know, but like everybody at first, like, it ain't bad. Like this is, I got this. And then he got out there and, you know, they kind of get a little more timid. So we're like, yo, we had the Hormesis up that day. He rolls up and Anthony and Christopher have their cameras on. He's like, yo, play a match right quick with Anthony. Like that's a moment that like you could get somebody into the sport. And he got out there.
I don't think it worked out, but
he has it. Yeah. Like, but you could, the videos now, like especially with TikTok and Instagram and all this, like you see these low quality videos getting insane spikes in views. And, you know, that kind of thing is funny. People find that funny. And then, you know,
hold up, don't call my video low quality. I thought it was
that's not what I'm saying.
It's like
short form content.
It's short form content.
Culture.
So he made short form content, meme culture video, and it was funny. And if it say like we take paintball super serious, but like say the average guy that is scrolling on and looking at memes and stuff like that, something like that pops up, that may pique his interest and get him into the sport. And that to me is like how we need to have more fun with it. Don't forget it's not all business. Like there's times, but that you need to be serious. But then having fun is like the whole reason we're doing all this anyway. That's what got us bitten by the paintball bug to begin with. So like, go out there, be serious, go to the tournament, be there to win. And then, you know, when you have moments, like enjoy that grind and have fun and really be present in the moment, because like, I'll never forget these moments with my friends. Like I look up in the pit sometimes and the moment it gets so big and you're so entrenched in the match. And then you're like, it's like 2 seconds. You look up, you got everything ready and you're looking at your friends. And you're like, dude, I am so happy to just be here and be alive and be present with my friends and like being able to be around people and I can be 100% me. And that's something that like, I think for paintball, you can't forget, because if you take it too serious, you know, you'll forget the journey. It's like, Chris, you're playing pro now. Like, wouldn't you say that the journey is like is literally the most important part to getting there? like remembering that and enjoying the moments, the hard stuff?
I think it's been interesting to see how different it is for me. I've been fortunate to be on a lot of really good, fun teams, and I've had like all different types where I feel like, when we first started, I had dirt bags and they weren't that serious. It was kind of just like the new team. You had second nature. They were same thing, just early on, typical, lower divisional player type of environment, learning, figuring out, just having fun. And then as I went up, I started playing on these different teams that were super serious enough to where I don't feel like the priority was fun. It was the fun of playing and competing, which I don't think was bad. And then whenever I went to NRG, I think one of the biggest things that helped me was the time in of playing. Like I was playing. I mean, I don't even like I couldn't believe how much I was playing during that time with school and everything I was managing at the time, and just to see the difference, and then think of all the good moments with all these different players and what I've learned. Similar to what Alex is talking about, like the journey. Like I've had amazing coaches through and through, whether it be from a life perspective or a paintball perspective, or even just a simple just to learn what not to do perspective on sometimes I've been coached by a one-off coach or something like that, right? So to kind of just end it off, like Ironman now, it's like I have so much fun playing with them because they also prioritize those same core values that Alex talked about. Like it's more than just a game. It's these memories, it's these moments. And yeah, I think it's important to continue that type of environment and remember that, you got to have this in between. You got to be able to be serious when you need to be serious. And you then need to be able to, work hard, play hard type of vibe. And I know that I have absolute blast with Ironman because we're just constantly just enjoying the environment with each other. We're doing stuff, and I don't know. I think what Alex said was very true. You think back on the moments. Like I see guys now that, you know, like a good example is whenever I was playing Division 3, there's these players that they message me on Facebook, or they didn't know I went pro, and then they're trying to come back, and I'm doing whatever I can to give them some type of motivation or support, or, just talk to them, because it's like they went and did their own thing. They might have kids, they might have a full-time job, they might have this and that. And then I've just been blessed to be able to continue on this journey and now finally make it to pro. And it's just cool to sit down and talk with them. And they're like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm make it. I'm next." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it." So like, yeah, it's just those moments, 100%, Alex.
Something that I think Christopher doesn't, I mean, he's not home as much as, I'm sure he would like to be, but something that I've kind of had fun doing recently, and mind you, proud older brother here, Anthony, proud older brother. Like I will pop up at like a field, right? Like I went to BR. Sometimes I go to Black Ops in Conway, or not. I haven't been to Conway, but in Myrtle, Fayetteville, just random places. Even at like the Tin Man in Greensboro, and just to see how many flame beanies there are now. It's kind of like it's surreal for me because I'm like, dude, my brother is doing this. Like I'm watching this and like kind of mind blown. Like, dude, this is kind of like a movement, dude. Like I'm watching because like the flame beanie's been a thing for a long time, right? And then it died, and then to see, Chris wearing it and people that are like Carolina supporting Carolina is kind of like what I've wanted forever. Like I just want it because I think I've said that on the podcast before. It's like Carolina has some serious talent, dude. Some serious talent. If we just, you know what I mean? If we were all connected,
Yeah.
if we were just all connected and there was no like, because there's a lot of, I was talking to Steve, by the way, shout out Steve the other day. He was like, dude, I feel like the Carolina, Steve Doherty from Flow. So I was talking to Steve on the phone the other day, and he's like, dude, I feel like the Carolinas is like the beefiest area. Like they're just so full of beef, dude. Like every team's got beef with another and this, that, and the time. Like it kind of is like that. It's been that way for a long time. And it's tragic for me because I genuinely love and hope the best for every Carolina baller that really wants to make it. I hope they do make it. I think that we have some of the best players in the country. And if our mindset is set to be the best, we will be there. But if we play around with the little side quests and stuff of like back and forth hating on each other, you can never reach that because you're too busy tearing each other down. And to see those beanies all over the place means that we're getting like some unity to us. Like everybody has like that common pro now. They're like, if it's, Chris, or if it's Chris Shear or Chris Lennon or Chris Shear, Kyle Bowen's from North Carolina, like, Kyle Spica, like people like that, like find those people connect on those. Lackey, that's another one. God, dang on. I feel terrible about that. Lackey's been in it for such a long time.
I saw
But
Lucky
yeah,
this past weekend. I love Lucky.
like, but
Yeah.
I want
Next
to
time you
see
see him,
that.
tell him to hit me back. He knows what we're talking about.
I want unity. I want a group to come out of the Carolinas and be exactly what they want to be. You know, like if you want to have fun, have fun. If you want to win and be the greatest, dude. Work at it. Be the next Ollie Lang. Be the next Greenspan. Do that. But like, you have to set your mind to it, like my brother has, and do it. I wish I wasn't. You know, I didn't take that long break. Although I will say that, like, now that we're where we are now and the timing of everything's perfect, like, I can't regret it, but, like, I wish I had that mindset that Christopher had when I was his age. And it took me learning the hard way to turn back around and be like, "Dang, going, like, we really could have done it if I had just focused more on this and less on having a good time, or less on this or less on this." Like, because I found out after 6 years of, you know, wondering why am I, like, not happy, that, like, the entire time is, like, been a goal of mine since I was a little kid, and I abandoned it for 6 years, and now I'm living that, and I understand why those 6 years, you know, were the way they were. It was like, "Man, like, this isn't really making me happy." I couldn't figure out what it was, just to come back and be like, you know, I needed those 6 years to really appreciate what I'm doing now. And to have my brothers still be able to be involved in my brothers of paintball is huge. Like, the first event Christopher played pro, dude, I'll even talk about it, right? I'll never forget. I have always said, I said, Christopher's first pro event, I'm going to have a beer. It did not go that way. I had several beers. I'm sitting there, cut water,
man. Cut water.
cut water, man. So, and like Trey Young, shout out Trey Young again. That is, dude, he's like my brother, dude. I talk to him every day.
He was there.
He was there sitting right next to me, celebrating my brother, just like me.
Yeah,
And
shout out Trey.
I got mad love for Trey, dude. And he is like a guy that he says it. You know, he just says it. He's brash. So he looks at me, and I'm in this proud moment, and I got just enough cut water in me that he's like, dude, how does it feel to watch your brother play right there? Like, dude, unless you're there, he was basically saying, if I don't complete my goal, I won't ever get to play with my brother again. And my favorite moment in paintball ever, I have one picture of it, is me and Anthony Christopher playing a 3-man, their first event together. Still to this day, my favorite moment in paintball, because I got to play alongside of both my brothers and fight with them, right? So when he said that, I'm like, dude, if I don't reach this goal and take it serious, I'm never going to get to play with my brother again. And it just flushed my whole good mood. And dude, I was so upset. Dude, I was proud and disappointed in myself and everything all at once, because like I did this to myself. And I'm also like trying to, you know, I'm also super happy. So I end up like bawling, crying, dude.
My favorite thing, I want to bring up one part. It was at the end. I'm not going to bring up the exact reason, but there was a situation that come up. Alex didn't say something bad. It just said something that didn't need to be said.
Right.
And Alex turned around. I'm telling you, he turned around like if I was Alex, and this is the picture. I'm sitting there, I'm with Alex, and I look at him and go, you can't say that. And he just walks away. I saw him. I was like, where is he going? He was like,
I've done enough. As soon as, and this is the crazy part, before he said anything to me, I said it the second it came out of my mouth. I was like, I've done enough damage for the day. And I just turned and walked away. And I walked away from everybody. Now, mind you, they're my ride. Like, I don't know where I'm going, but like.
And we're in Chicago.
Yeah.
And
now, mind you, that realization from that day was like, I'm going to take this completely serious from now on. I'm 29 years old. And I always felt like I was like, ever since I've been back, Christopher's helped me through this a lot. It was like, I felt like I'm running out of time. And Chris is like, yeah, Chris is like, look at the pros, dude. Like half those guys are like, those guys are competing at their best level of paintball and they're in their 40s. He's like, dude, you're good. But you don't quite believe that yet. So I have that event. And then after that event, you know, we get back, whatever. And it comes December. I'm like, dude, I've smoked cigarettes and vaped and I drank and I did all this stuff and I eat like crap. And I'm like, okay, so if my theory's right and I'm too old, I'm getting old and I'm running out of time. these other things, these vices are just in my way. They're just, if I can't quit smoking, I can't go pro. If I can't quit drinking, I can't go pro. If I can't eat clean, I can't go pro. And that's just other things along with my age that are in the way. So I said, okay, I'm going to quit smoking. I quit smoking or quit vaping, whatever, same thing. Quit drinking. I only drink if we win or celebrating or doing something like that. I started running. I had a goal. I was like, dude, I'm going to run 3 miles consistently before the first event. Christopher, being the brother that he is, right? And pushing me, he texts me. I text him. I'm like, dude, half a mile is killing me. I text him the half mile. I'm like, dude, my ankles and back are killing me. He sends me him running like 3.5 miles. I'm like, oh, okay. So now I have to beat this young guy. You know what I'm saying? But before the first event, I had it done. And then next thing I know, that's infectious. Anthony quit smoking, and then now we're seeing like our boy Trey Beatty, he quit vaping. He quit smoking. He quit doing these things. Like Caldwell, he's zenning now. He's not smoking. Like Cam had an event where he was wore out. He's like, dude, I'm going to start running marathons. This dude's running marathons. Like, and it's infectious. And it all came from like, Chris having that conversation for me, and then let's make a change. All it takes is that one person. And now I feel like I learned, like last year, I feel like just based on those things that I cut out of my life, I feel like I played so much better throughout the year. I felt so much better. I mean, I feel better at 29 than I ever did when I was like 20, 18, 16. And I'm learning faster. Like, I felt like I learned so much as a player last year that it was ridiculous. And now I realize like there's literally nothing stopping me. It's only me. That being unlocked in a person's head is like, oh, let's go. Like I'm excited to do anything now. Let's go. You want to go play, and who cares? I get shit on all weekend. Whatever. I just learned something. You're gonna win or learn. Like you literally can do really anything you want. All you have to do is look at what you're in your own way for, and then conquer those demons and move on.
Yeah, the cool thing is like, I mean, a lot of what Alex says, it's just us working together. I mean, I've learned a lot on the journey I've been on to go pro, and I know that both of my brothers are more than capable of being pro as well, and really anything they want to do. If I can do something, they can do something as always. And so, no matter what, we always talk with each other, whether it's life or regular stuff, and finding ways to just improve one another. I think has been very important. Yeah, I love my brothers to death. I mean, I'll say it forever, but like, it's cool to see what we all have learned from the journey that we've done together. And this thing in particular, paintball, has kept us together more than I think most brothers are. I think we're very close. Of course, we get aggravated and we fuss and we cuss at each other, and then we hang up on each other and we call each other back just like every other brother. But there's something different, I believe, that we have that I mean, I haven't seen it very often, where we just are basically inseparable, in my opinion. So I'm very fortunate to have them and have that kind of support, and whatever they need, I got them. So I'm sure the same. I know the same on the opposite.
So, like, back on the whole 6-year break thing, I was sitting down thinking about it, and I think me and Christopher had talked about this before. Thinking about the matches and the paintball that I played before I quit, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, 100%.
Go ahead,
I had
Andy.
no idea what I was doing.
100%.
Like, I was just going onto the field and shooting my gun at whatever and whoever. I don't like, even going back and watching the little bit of footage that we have from then is like awful.
At the time, you felt like you were killing it, though.
No, I didn't.
I did.
I had no idea what I was doing.
I
Like,
did.
that's the reason why. Whenever-
Confidence is key, baby.
Go ahead, Andy.
But it's one of those things. Like, I mean, thinking back on the matches that I do remember, because half of them I don't remember playing half the tournaments that we did. But like the ones that I do, I don't know what I was doing. I really don't.
That's how I even felt before semi-pro. I swear to God. I go back and I think, I'm like, what? No, how was I don't even know what I was doing. I didn't even know clock management until like genuinely semi-pro. It's what's so sad. I feel like I just neglected it. That's so funny.
Chris says that, right? And then we have practices, and he's beating clock management into our brains.
That's because he had just learned it.
Because I didn't want to waste it.
Yeah, because
I don't want them to have to go through the same struggles. No point.
yeah, we did struggle with clock management.
We
So
did
did I.
closing, clock management, running into just guns for no reason.
I feel like we did really good on clock management Well, not that last match of Cup. I feel like we could have done better on cloud management there.
Yeah, I'm a little upset about that match. Just
That's
because
where you
we
got
put
to
ourselves in
practice
our own spot.
situationals on the opposite end, like low time. They're aggravating, but you have to practice them so much. And that's,
Well, see,
I mean, good.
it wasn't even the low points, like the down points part. Like, I feel like that we took too long being down 2.
Yes.
Like, we took too long to get to down 2 points. You know what I mean? We
Lose
played
fast.
the last 2 points like we were supposed to. And I mean, and people say that we got, supposedly we got robbed on it, but we should have never been in that position anyway.
Yeah, like
So I'm not blaming the ref on anything. I'm not saying that the Razorbacks that they were cheating. This is the reason why we lost. No, we lost that match in the first 2 points.
we beat ourselves.
They were just, I mean, they played better that weekend.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
It sucks that we had to lose to another Carolina team. That really hurt. But like at the end of the day, this is, kind of what I've been telling everybody. They're like, oh yeah, if somebody says like that bad point, it was a ref or it was this, that, and the third, I'm like, nah, dude, like it wasn't. Because I mean, if it had been switched, right, and we had to win in on a call, I wouldn't have complained. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't have complained if I had made it in. So like it's just one of those things that we should not have been down 2, period. Like it's our own fault. I agree with Anthony completely on that. So
You got to be better than the external factors, right?
Yeah, if it's coming down to that you're blaming the ref for how your tournament went, then you're playing bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or you have a
need to go back.
self-accountability.
You need to go back to the drawing board.
Sometimes.
But it comes down to self-accountability at the end of the day. Like you have people that blame the ref or blame this guy for cheating or blame this guy for this, that, and the third. I'll tell you right now, that guy getting away with cheating doesn't bother me. I'm going to do it. He's going to do it. They're all going to do it. Chris will tell you everybody cheats. Like that's life. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. My job.
Robin's racing.
Yeah. Like if I go out there, this has been my one thing. I'm playing against this team until I get shot. And now I'm playing against the ref. If I beat the ref, I get to play against you again.
Oh, they're the best team in paintball.
They're the best team in paintball, dude. Like, so
They win every time. Almost. They get shot a lot.
Yeah, but they have unlimited lives. They never get out. They get shot all day, and they don't have to get out.
Plus, dude, do you really want to, like, to be real? I've refed. Chris, I know you've refed. Anthony, you've refed. I know you've refed. You've refed before,
I've
yeah?
refed. Oh, yeah.
Okay. You're hot. It's 1,000,000,000 degrees or it's like 2 degrees outside. There's never like great weather. It's never like perfect to be a ref. Like you're thirsting to death. You're starving and you have to do this all day and you get blasted with 0 adrenaline.
Yeah.
Like,
and
It's
hold
not
on
fun.
top of that, you're forgetting one critical spot.
you're the worst enemy of everyone.
There you go.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
goes, what a terrible ref.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just siding with his buddies. Like, bro, get out of here.
Like,
You have it's for every team that you have that's like appreciate you guys are reffing good. You have the guys who lost that match also, and they're like, these guys are the fucking worst. They're terrible. Like, I mean, you don't win. You can't win for losing.
my biggest thing as a player, I think, good or bad, it's super important because I've been in that position. Like, I know what it's like to be a ref, and I know how terrible that job is. Like, I know how terrible that job is. So, good or bad, whatever, like, I feel it's like a need to at least thank them for what they do. Like, honest. And if you see a ref that's about to die from heat exhaustion, give him a freaking water, dude. Offer him a water.
Yeah.
Like, with no strings attached. Okay, with no strings attached.
I did that World Cup. I gave this cat 3 body armors. I got smoked in the side of the head, but I was still in the game. You know what I'm saying?
See,
So years ago, World Cup.
a long-term investment goes a long way.
I made sure. I remember I knew he was our ref too. That was just so funny. Maybe you call it collusion, but I was just doing what I was doing. Every time I was watching other players in our division play, and I would be like, "Hey, man," he's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Need water, need a body armor. Like, what do you need? What do you need?" And I made sure he saw my face. I'm like, I had long hair, so it was easy.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
I was at a local event one time, and they were, complaining about the ref because the ref had a couple beers, and they're like, everybody wants to give me a beer until they get knocked out, and then I'm drunk. That's such a valid point. Like,
That's pretty funny.
I mean, dude.
That's fair.
Yeah, like it's a double-edged sword. No matter which way you go, you're the worst enemy. Everybody there. Like, shout out to the refs, every ref, NXL, AXL, all of them. I will say though, I'm every day of the week. If it's a good ref, a bad ref, whatever, I just want consistency. If you're good, be consistently good. If you're bad, be consistently bad. I'm cool with that.
I will say was it the Hormies? No, it was the NXL field consistently bad.
Cool with that. But it consistent.
Consistent.
They were consistently bad.
But
No, they
consistent.
didn't have a snake corner ref on our side of the field. And we shot the guy when they only ran to the corner on our side of the field.
Mm.
And he would get shot every time.
That's where you gotta hope for overtime.
And
Yeah.
well, no, there's no overtime because it's prelims.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was our last prelims match.
We're not as blessed as you with overtime, pal.
Yeah.
How blessed is Chris?
Yeah, no. Us
Very.
lowly divisional guys don't get overtime.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at it. Look at it. 5 pods,
We just went.
overtime.
Okay, so what if we just did? I like the overtime stuff, right? So like, say we don't play overtime. I get it. They're trying to manage a bunch of games. They're trying to stay on track. I get it. And paintball is never on time ever. Just go straight to one-on-ones, man. Like instead of doing an overtime point, just go straight to a one-on-one. I'm throwing
all for
Anthony
that.
Caldwell. I'm throwing the book at him, dude. Myself, I'm actually a really good one-on-one player. You know, Cam's a good one-on-one player. We got some studs, dude. We have some one-on-one studs. So, like,
Alex still hasn't beat me in a 1-on-1 yet. So
your days are numbered, pal. Your days are numbered. Hey,
I'm just
Chris.
saying, you said that before.
Chris, how bad did you beat Anthony?
10-6.
Pretty good.
10-6. Yeah, I don't think it was 10-6. I think it was pretty good.
Well, see, I beat you 10-6 also. I beat you 10-6 too.
We're not talking about me.
So there's levels to this.
All right,
There's
so
levels.
hold on. Let me explain to you how I beat. I'm going to explain to you how I beat Alex in one-on-ones. When we play the Hormesis duel, Alex, this is again one of those things that like Alex doesn't really get gassed, but like it's like a mixture of emotion and gas.
Okay.
So like he'll go up whenever he gets up in points. It's almost like he tries to like coast with it.
No,
like he's got this confidence.
Hold up, let him just cook.
He's got
Alex.
this
Let him
confidence.
cook.
And both times that me and him have one-on-one during the Hormesis thing, he'll go up about 5 or 6 points, and then I will run the table on him.
So
I don't think you learned yet. I'm just saying. He's like, yo, I learned.
Mm-hmm.
I keep pressing and keep pressing. Like you're gonna run out of energy, and you still have a lot of time and a lot of points to
Mhm.
get. So I try and conserve. I'm trying to conserve my energy a little bit. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll try and live behind my gun a little better. Anthony is a S-tier gunfighter, and I'm trying to live behind my gun as an attacker that's used to moving a lot.
Mm.
So I'm getting smoked. And then I go into that emotional turmoil where I'm trying to claw my way out and try and press again. And now he's got my number, and I end up losing.
And on top of that, like he'll like put his hand up above the bunker. I'm shooting that hand off.
Wait a minute now, because I was trying to do was overshoot him a little bit. I was trying to overshoot Anthony a little bit and kill his spirit. And when he got back up on me, this bitch started overshooting me back.
He regretted
Now-
it.
Yeah.
I will tell you, overshooting does not bother my mental at all. Actually, it helps. But the losing is what I can't accept. So I lost this point. I cannot accept this loss. So now I have to deal with this in, 20 seconds before I have to be back on the box?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's not enough time for me to let this shit go. Like, I just got good at letting go of the last point, and I have like 2 or 3 minutes between the next point. So now you're asking me to do it in less than 1/10 of the time, and I can't sort it out in my head yet. Plus, we were doing this with no coaches. So it's all you. And yeah, he beat me twice just simply that. I tried to manage my energy better, and he's a better gunfighter than I am. And it just cost me. But I am at the drawing board currently. I'm not losing this next one, dude. And Chris, you're next.
I have a rule now to never 1v1 Alex just to piss him off. So it works out. I just don't do it.
That's because I beat you.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
All right. You are insane.
it's gonna constantly a forever competition. I think this is part of like what our competitive spirit will always be, because all three of us, our entire lives have competed against each other, and we're always gonna be like we're at the end of the day, like I'm gonna support them, they're gonna support me, and they always will. But if they're on the other side of the field, sorry, pal, I hate this for you. You gotta lose. And it's always been that way. So I think that's where our competitive nature comes from, and it's never ending.
It's a brother
We're all
thing.
better than each other in
Yeah.
a certain aspect.
Yep.
In certain parts. He's a better attacker than I
dude.
am. Christopher's a better paintball player than I am. I'm a better gunfighter and pretty much everything but attacking than Alex.
It's if we were just rolled up into one person, dude, we got nerfed from birth, dude.
Yeah. Oh, we're cruising through 2 hours, boys.
I got shoot. Dude, we always
So,
lose track.
You know,
Yeah, my groceries on the front porch right now.
Yeah.
No, hang on. Spoiled milk. I'm gonna say that. Spoiled milk.
Yeah, I order stuff on Walmart, so I don't know when it's arriving. I think it's arriving at like 10, 9. Is in between 9 and 10, so we'll see.
but shout out the sponsors one more time, and then
I got
we'll
Sponsors,
take this
something
thing
to
out.
Anthony or Alex.
The new Flow stuff or the new Flow War merch that's coming soon. We
Nice.
just got our Defy dry fits and jerseys came
Yeah,
in.
dry fit
Anthony's wearing
jerseys.
that. Shout out
Shout out
Flow.
to Vi.
Shout out Defy. Shout out to K9, Trade My Gun, JMS. We love all you guys. Stance. We appreciate all of you, and thank you. Also, thank you, Hunter, for having us back on. I really appreciate it. I love being on here. We love talking to you.
Shout out Planet Paintball.
Shout out Planet Paintball, baby.
Chris.
Go Iron Man, go War, Defy, Die, Flow, and just happy to be here, man. Thank you again for the opportunity.
Anytime. Open invitation, boys. So
We're gonna just
All
start
right.
joining in on your other
Random.
host.
the link works all the time. So, you know.
Like, what is it?
Do
Spick
it,
and span.
please.
Spick and span with Alex Frazee just randomly popping in his car.
Yeah.
That's us.
Yeah. That could be you guys.
If you ever got one that you need to go a little bit longer, like it's kind of dying out, just let us know.
Yeah.
We'll jump in and just talk
We'll
a little
pop
bit.
in.
Wait,
We'll talk a
You
little
guys
bit.
will be on my hotline.
Planet Paintball Podcast, 24-hour podcast?
I don't know
All
about
right, big dog,
that.
you can have that one. I gotta go
Yeah,
to bed.
that's all you.
Alex will be here by himself. He's like, "Whoa, we need like a mirror. My mic's not working. It's just 12 hours. of
It's,
your mic."
it's 23 hours of Alex trying to get his mic to work.
Me learning sign language.
That'd be great.
Learn sign language. Whoa.
Oh.
All he knows how to say is DEFIY or whatever.
That's right. Let it fly, baby.
All right. Well, with that, we'll see everyone else next time on the Planet Paintball.
Bye,
you know
everybody.
you boys gonna hang out. Thank you guys again.
Thanks for tuning in to the Planet Paintball podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Whether you're out there grinding in the divisional pits or chasing dreams on the pro stage, remember, it's all about the passion, the hustle, and the love for the sport. Until next time, keep grinding, keep growing, and we'll see you back here on the Planet Paintball podcast